This is section 9.3, graph and write equations of circles. A circle is a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point called the center. So the center is the point about which all points of the circle are equidistant. The radius is the distance between the center and any point on the circle. The standard form of an equation with a center at h and k and a radius of r will be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Let's graph the equation y squared minus x squared, y squared equals negative x squared plus 36. The first thing we need to do is we need to get the x squared and the y squared on the same side. So because this is a negative x squared, we are going to add the x squared to both sides. So our equation will be x squared plus y squared is equal to 36. Now, the general form of the equation is y minus h squared x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Because there's nothing with the h and the k, that means that our x and our y, there is no h and k. That means h is 0 and k is 0. Now to find the value of r, you just take the square root of the answer, or r is equal to 6. So our center of our circle is going to be at 0, 0. And our radius is going to be 6. So that means we're going to go 6 in each direction. Once you have your radius of 6, you'll just draw your circle to connect all the points. This time we're doing the exact same thing, but our equation is already in standard form. Your h value is with your x, so when you pull the h out, you need to change your sign. The k value is with your y, and again, when you pull it out, you change your sign. And r is equal to your answer, the square root of your answer, or in this case, r is equal to 4. So our center is at negative 5 and 2. From your center, you will go 4 to the right, back to your center, go up 4, back to the center, 4 to the left, and down 4. And then draw your circle to connect the points. This time we're going to write an equation in standard form. It says the point of 2, negative 5 lies on the circle whose center is at the origin. So we do know the graph is going to start on the origin, and we have a point at 2, negative 5 that is somewhere on the circle, but we don't know anything else about the circle. Because this is a point on the circle, from the center out to the point would be the length of the radius. So to find the length of the radius, we just need to find the distance between the center and the point on the circle. And remember, to find that radius, we're finding the distance. The distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. In this case, it'll be 2 minus 0 squared plus negative 5 minus 0 squared. We have 2 squared plus negative 5 squared, or 4 plus 25, which means our radius is radical 29. Now, our equation of our circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Our h value is 0, our y value is 0, and if the radius is radical 29, r squared, when you square a square root, that will cancel. Now you can leave your answer in this form, or you can just write it as x squared plus y squared is equal to 29. Again, we're going to write an equation in standard form. We have a point of 1, negative 3 that lies on the circle. This time the center is at 1, 2. So again, we are going to have to find the radius using the distance formula. So we can do 1 minus 1 squared is equal to negative 3 minus 2 squared, or 0 squared plus negative 5 squared. So the radius is radical 25, or 5. Now we do know our center, our h and our k. So I'm going to say x minus your h value squared plus y minus the k value squared is equal to the radius squared. If our radius is 5, 5 squared will give us 25. And this is the equation of our circle. We need to write the equation in standard form and identify the center and the radius. Now, because we have x squareds and x's, we are going to group the x squareds and the x's together, leave a space. Then we're going to group any y's together, and then anything else we're going to take to the other side. So because this is a negative 7, to move the other side of the equal sign, we are going to make it positive. Now, for everything that has a squared and a variable raised to the first power, you will have to complete the square, so we have a perfect square trinomial. Because we only have this with the x's, we are only going to have to do this once. But we are going to have to find our c value because we are going to be completing the square. Remember, before you can complete the square, you do have to have the variable that is squared by itself first. So this couldn't be like 2x squared. You would have to have the x squared by itself first. Remember, the value of b is whatever's in front of x. This will be negative 6 over 2 squared, or negative 3 squared, which is 9. So we can add and subtract a 9. Now we don't have to do this with the y squared because there's not just a y value. But our perfect square trinomial is just these pieces. We don't need that negative 9. So to get rid of it, we will add it to the other side. So this is going to give us x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared is equal to 16. We are going to factor this perfect square trinomial. And remember, whatever's inside the parentheses from finding that value of c is what will be in the parentheses down here. So this equation is in standard form. We do have a center of 3 and 0, because when you pull that negative 3 out, it becomes positive. There's nothing with the y squared, so it's just 0. And our radius is the square root of the answer, which will just be 4.